Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Diogo DALOT is officially a Manchester United player and Mark Goldbridge is officially a plonker. I am late because I've just spent 5 minutes thinking I was live, getting really enthusiastic. I'm also in my England top because I was out in the garden just doing some keep-ups, pretending to be Gary Lineker from the 1990 World Cup. Drawty rung me up and said, "DALOT's done." I said, you can't be, you've got to be joking. You've got to be joking. But I was just live for about 5 minutes and I was like, why is it saying people are waiting and they're not watching? So we are live. DALOT is a Manchester United player. I can't believe what I've just done, but the show must go on. You people are waiting. DALOT is officially a Manchester United player. And look, I'm trying to think what I was saying, what I thought I was saying. Right, so it's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing, really. We've been talking about this for 2 weeks, but apparently it's a little bit clickbait to say that DALOT and Fred will be done deals. But lo and behold, they are. But joking apart, really, really pleased because before we talk about DALOT and where he's going to play, we did say at the weekend, if we can get 2 signings done before the start of the World Cup and two people out the door before the start of the World Cup, that is really good progress by the middle of June. And we're going to do it. We've got 2 in DALOT and Fred, and looks like Fellaini's gone and it looks like Darmian's gone. So in the space of a week where we're panicking about the, we're not doing any business. Well, City, Arsenal have not really done any business. Spurs, Chelsea haven't done any business. Liverpool have signed Fabinho. We've got 2 in the door and we're looking at getting people out the door. So I think actually let's give a little bit of a clap about the Manchester United transfer window so far. Still loads and loads to be done, but really, really good start. Let's talk about Diogo DALOT then, because it is a while since we were introduced who he was. It must be over a week ago where we said he was coming. So and fair play to all the journalists who broke it, of which I think Duncan Castles was one, and certainly a few others. But fair play to them, they were right. Sort of come from nowhere signing, which always excites me. Just turned 19 years of age. He's played for Porto about between 5 and 10 times. Not very much. He's never played for Portugal. He's played for the youth setup quite a lot. He's around 6 foot, if I recall. I should have checked that before I came on, but he is around 6 foot. And for a 19-year-old, he's got a good set of lungs on him. He's got a good poise on him. So where's he going to play? Where is he going to play? And I'll tell you where he's going to play. He's going to play right back as an understudy to Valencia. That's where he's going to play. That's where he's got to play. He can play left back. He actually played left back against Liverpool in the Champions League. I think it was the second leg at Anfield when they'd been hammered in the first game. So he's played a handful of games for Porto, and he's played there as a left back. He can anybody who suddenly says they know everything about DALOT is a liar. Unless you get a Porto season ticket holder on, they're a liar. You cannot look at YouTube clips and say he can play left back really well. I mean, from what I've seen of them YouTube clips, the crosses are okay. But he's right-footed. And do we want another a right-footed left back? I mean, unless you're going to get Dennis Irwin, no. And Dennis Irwin was world-class, by the way. So this guy is very, very well thought of around Europe. Now, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, all the bitter rivals will be saying, you've spent all this money on a nobody. But he's 19. He's not a nobody, is he? He's 19 years of age. He was wanted by all the top clubs. Real Madrid were interested. Barcelona were interested. We've got him. Manchester United have signed him. Best young fullback in Europe is what Jose Mourinho has described him as. £19 million is what we meant to have paid. Remember, his release clause was about 17.5, but we were expected to go up to 19. Quote from DALOT: "The chance of coming to the biggest club in the world is something I just couldn't turn down, and it's expected to be a 5-year contract." So positives about that. The big thing is, as the Football Twin says, there's lots of potential in this guy. He seems fast, skillful and strong. I'm really excited. Yes. Let's jump onto this type of a deal, please, because Manchester United always used to do this type of deal. We always used to go out and just sign a player that was a little bit younger, who could potentially go and be one of the best players in the world. And you know what, again, I want to say, I know we said yesterday about Fred, and we've said about the coaching setup, McKenna and Carrick coming in, attacking coaches who understand the club coaches, different from Mourinho's style of play. Fred comes into the midfield, under 6 foot. Mourinho's got this obsession with height and physicality. He goes and gets a baller who's quick and good on the ball and tenacious and wants to attack in Fred. And then today, we go and get a raw development player that everybody in the world's sort of looking at. We've gone and got him as a right back. When we've got a right back who's good, but he's 33 and seems to be getting tired, you go and get one of the best up-and-coming right backs in the world. And that is the United way. So, of course, last season was a disaster. It wasn't the best season we've ever had, and there was lots and lots of rightful reasons to moan. But also, on top of that, we've gone and produced some things in the summer already that are turning the back on last season and doing things very, very differently. And I'm really, really pleased. I'm really, really pleased with the DALOT signing. I know some people won't be pleased. I know some people will be a little bit unenthused by it because it's not star signing and all that. But this is what United used to do. And I'm excited by this. We've got a lot of young talent coming through at Manchester United. A lot of young talent. We've got Gomez, we've got Chong, who come through the youth setup. We've signed a lot of players around 15 and 16-year-olds from around Europe, from around the world. And this time we've gone for DALOT, who's 19. And he has touched the first team of Porto. He has played a Champions League game. But he's not anybody who's going to come with a great pedigree, and he's not anybody who's going to come with a great understanding of what he's about. But where his pedigree is and his potential and what everybody is saying about him and how he's been scouted. So it's a really, really good move for Manchester United. Thanks, Fionn. I thought it was Duncan Castles who reported it first. I shouted him out on the Twitter account yesterday. I thought he was really good. Mike Holland already talking about who's next. You know what I like about that comment from Mike Holland about who's next? Is we go from a position of strength. I think at times, even going back as far as Sir Alex Ferguson, we've gone into transfer windows and we've hoped for things to happen, and time's ticked and ticked away, and you realise, well, we're up against the clock now. What we've done is we've gone and got 2 signings in. Now, DALOT probably wasn't a signing that any of us would have put on there. Not the name, but even the position. Right back for me is right down below left back, 2 midfielders, centre back, attacker. Right back sort of fighting out for 6th on the list, and we've gone and got a right back. So Fred's one of the midfielders done. So we've given ourselves a little bit of a good start, a very good start, and now we go and do other stuff. But DALOT's exciting. There's DALOT expected of him. I'm not going to do those jokes, but there's a lot expected of him, and we will have to be patient. He's not going to start games straight away. He's going to have to come in, acclimatise, but it's a positive signing. It's positive, and it's a really good signing as well for Manchester United because Jose Mourinho's meant to only be here for another year. So what's that signing all about? Does that mean Jose's going to be here for a lot longer? Or is it the club going out and buying a player that's going to be here for a while? Apparently it's pronounced DALOT. I don't care. Read it how we see it until we get the official announcement on what it is. He's a United player now. We can start to learn his name. Alexandro is needed, says Red Skulls. Mark, really hate that United fans are writing who. I am glad that we have made a signing for the future. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, we must always also be very, very, very careful in our Manchester United fan base because we are educated fans, we are passionate fans, and please do drop a like on the video. It's always nice to hit 1,000 likes on a signing on video like we did with Fred last night, by the way. 1,000 likes for DALOT or DALOT or whatever he is pronounced as. But we must be very, very careful because it's like, let's get rid of Luke Shaw and get Sandro. Let's get rid of this player and get this player. That's very like what Real Madrid were like for about 15 years in the Galacticos. And it didn't do them a lot of good. It makes you very spoilt. It makes you very unappreciative as a fan base. And we're not like that as United. So I think we've got to be careful about let's change this. And also, we mustn't lose sight of the fact that Manchester United, above anybody else, we should be excited about signing a 19-year-old for nearly £20 million who's got a great pedigree in the youth setup and has been scouted comprehensively. Now, obviously, his first team stats are non-existent virtually for Porto, but this is I like this sort of signing. This is a lad that, if he fulfills his potential, could be our right back for 5 to 10 years and be the best right back in the world. This is a right back who is a right back. This is not a right winger like Valencia who's been transformed into a right back. This is not a right winger who's been transformed into a left back but he's right footed. This is really important that United over the coming years build with their fullbacks. You look at Real Madrid with Marcelo and Carvajal. That's really important. Even looking at Barcelona with Alba and is it Semedo who plays right back for them. You look at Man City when they've got Mendy and they've got Kyle Walker. Your fullbacks are really important, and they sort of get underestimated a little bit because it's all about the attack and the midfield and sometimes the centre backs. But your fullbacks support your centre-backs, but provide the balance and width for the attacks. And United have not really been doing that for a while. So this guy could be really, really good. He can't be the next Zidane, David Green, because he's a right-back. I like the signing, but does this mark the end of Fosu Mensah, says Ian Higgeldendorf. Look, I don't think it does. And the reason... We spoke about this about 2 weeks ago, so I don't want to go over old ground. But Fosu Mensah did well at Crystal Palace. He had a good loan. Fosu Mensah must be given an opportunity at Manchester United. But in Fosu Mensah and Dalot or Dalot, I'm going to call him Dalot till we officially know, they're two young players who won't definitely make it at right back for United. And one of them might get sold in 4 years or 2 years for 15 million, and we've lost nothing. So I've always felt that Fosu Mensah is a centre defensive midfielder or a centre back more than a full back. But Fosu Mensah had good things and bad things about his Crystal Palace loan. And Jose will judge him and the coaching staff will judge him when he comes back, and we'll see. But this is a player that a lot of people wanted. Real Madrid, like I say, Bayern Munich. Hussy Pussy says Valencia is going to play centre-back just like Mourinho did with Ramos in Madrid. Antonio Valencia is a centre-back. My God. I don't think so. Oh, somebody was just saying there they meant Zidane in as manager. Where's Fred's video, says Bradley Mangs. I haven't seen that yet. Where is his interview, says Ross Johnson. I think that what United are doing here is that they're making signings, but they're getting these players to Manchester for interviews and stuff like that is going to be quite difficult, especially in Fred's case, because of he's got a World Cup, hasn't he? But I would imagine they'll want to try and combine the team, because one thing I would say about Dalot is that he is young and he hasn't got a massive amount of games behind him at a high level. So to unveil him to the press and have him open to interviews is probably a little bit unfair on a youngster. So maybe we'll wait and we'll do it all together after the World Cup and have a big photo shoot then. Great signing for the future. Good to see Jose buying youth, says Clapped Boy. Fozo is good, but not reach the standard to play for United or help us win the league, says Twan. Well, Fosu Mensah might need to go on loan again. He might have to go on loan again. He's still young enough to do it. He's 20? So there's plenty of time on his side. Freddie's with the World Cup squad, says Gerard. Yep, so that's right, that is. Dalot can play left back as well, says Edward Hardingham. I mean, that's the only thing I'm going to go in hard on, Edward, because poor man's Alexander Trent. Alexander Trent still in the River Trent from where Rashford spun him around at Old Trafford back in March. Alexander Trent Arnold Phillips, or whatever his name is. Yeah, everyone in Europe was after him. Everyone in Europe's been after Dalot. But what I would say is, where I would go hard on this, is that he cannot be the left back option. We've got to go and sign a left back, because Dalot is right footed and that's never going to work. From what I've seen, he looks okay on his left, but we need a left footed left back to play there. If we've got Ashley Young there next season, as I said this morning on Twitter, the Carabao Cup is going to be our ceiling. We're not going to win anything decent with Ashley Young as left back, and we're certainly not going to be playing. If Dalot was a left-back option, he'd be understudy to Young anyway, which means Young's going to play. We've got to go and sign a left-back. That has to be on the list. If we come out of this transfer window and we don't sign a left-back, that would be ridiculous, because Dalot looks like he'll be an understudy to Valencia. If anybody needs a bloody understudy or a kick out of the team, it's Young. Valencia has been quite consistent. What about Twansibi, says Omar. I think Twansibi will go on loan to Villa again. That's what I've heard. Who's told you everyone in Europe was after him, says Cade 1019991. It's called research, mate. We spoke about it 2 weeks ago. He was being scouted by Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and I believe Barcelona. Fake Zed says comparing a Champions League finalist to a nobody. Oh God, mate, you're on a Manchester United stream where we're announcing an official signing. I mean, I don't need to say any more than that. You're the one who's brought Trent Alexander-Phillips into it. We don't want to talk about Liverpool. You're on a Manchester United channel's official signing of a player, trying to slate him. What does that say about you? Seriously, what does that say about you? I would never go on a Liverpool channel when they sign somebody. I've got no interest. And I tell you what, come back in 5 years and we'll see who's got the better right back. Villa are in the deep end out. Twan Seaby will go. Villa on loan, says Nitty. It's interesting. Anyway, give us your thoughts on this signing, because that's the whole point of going live. I want to get your thoughts on it. I like Nando's just said, yeah, a lot of people are saying that Fosu Mensah is going to be a central player. I've always felt that with Fosu Mensah. I'm old enough to remember people like Michael Essien and stuff like that. Michael Essien used to play right back as well. I think he played right back against us in the Champions League final in 2008, but he was a centre defensive midfielder primarily. And I just wonder whether Mourinho is looking at that sort of thing as well. Valencia is not an answer, and neither is Young. Dalot is a good signing, lot of upsides. Love Fred as a red. Who would you like at right wing? I don't know whether we'll definitely get one, Megalodonic one, but we'll see. I've got a feeling Ronaldo's coming to United, says Zik Kim. Wait till after the World Cup, mate, with those sort of signings. Definitely. Manchester United have released photos and videos on Instagram, says Elliot Hill. I'm going to go and have a look at those in a minute. Remember, smash the like button. We want 1,000 likes for Dalot signing. We got it easily with Fred. Come on, back the lad. He's going to be He's going to be fantastic. Let's get behind him. 1,000 likes for Dalot. Let's get it going in the live comments. Excellent signing, Sandro next, says Sareem Ahmed. Statement signing, says Salim Hussein. Very happy that we have signed a young player who has the potential to be one of the best right backs in the world, Aidan Lee. What a comment. That is it. And that is what? What a comment. Brilliant. Aidan Lee. Everyone chant Aidan Lee. Get it in the comments. That is perfect. I wish I could have said that, because that is the opening sentence. That is Dalot in an absolute nutshell. Aidan Lee. Brilliant. So he says, very happy that we have signed a young player who has the potential to be one of the best right backs in the world. And that's it for me. That is it. Has the potential to be one of the best right backs in the world. United signing potential again. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And he's well thought of. Well thought of. Dalot is the future, says HBBOTM. And of course, that's really important as well, because we have had concerns about Matic, Sanchez being linked to Willian, all these Alderweireld, all these players that are touching 30, and whatever they do at United, they're going to be finished in a couple of years. And then we go and sign a 25-year-old and a 19-year-old. And that's great. That's the future. Aidan Lee's getting loads of love in the live comments. It was a great comment. Bishwashi, I'm going to just touch on this very quickly. DiMarzio confirms that Martial is staying this summer. He hasn't confirmed it. If you watch our video from this morning on Transfer Daily, where we're talking about Spurs wanting Martial, which I'm sure they did, what DiMarzio actually did, DiMarzio was asked a question about, is Martial staying at Manchester United this summer? And he replied with, I think so. Yeah, it's looking good. But as I said this morning, until Martial signs a new contract, I'll always be concerned about that Mourinho-Martial relationship and what's really going on. But hopefully, if we can get that as well, if Fellaini goes and Martial stays, on top of whoever we sign and sell, that'll be a brilliant summer for us. Absolutely brilliant. Some real vibrance around the Manchester United side. Shane says, please think about this. De Gea in goal, Sandro left back, Smalling and Bailly centre-backs, right-back Valencia, with Dalot each game. Left centre midfield, Fred, with Matic and Pogba. Martial, Lukaku. What a fitting team. I think you're a player short as well. I still want Savic. I still want Savic. And maybe that was the player I missed in a 4-4-2 with the diamond. Yeah, could be good. We need Martial to sign that contract. We do. And I did see Willian's press conference, Christopher White. I spoke about it this morning. It could well happen. And Sandro to United is no longer happening, says Arthur Curry. Sandro to United can still happen. All that's been said about that was from Fabrizio Romano, who is on the staff of DiMarzio. And what he said is, at the moment, United aren't in talks with Juventus, but it could happen next week. So remember, Sandro's got to speak to Juventus first. We need to play Martial on the left, says John Musselwhite. We're nearly at 1,000 likes, said somebody. Yeah, 900. Keep them likes coming in. We want 1,000 likes while we're live for Dalot. He deserves it. Happy with this signing. Young and fast, says Stuart Marson. Yes. Speed, energy, brilliant. We need Savic. says Farhan. Yeah, let's see if Milinkovic-Savic likes this signing today. Everyone keep an eye on Instagram. Remember, we're on Instagram as well, United Stand TV. Follow us, but you want to get on Instagram because that's where Milinkovic-Savic tends to like United posts. Let's see if he does it again today. If we go for Sandro, Martial will go. It's not worth it then. Mark, what about a four-man midfield of Pogba, Matic, Fred and Savic? Says Red Skulls. Love it. I would absolutely love it. But just going back to Dalot, what do I think is going to happen to him this season? Understudy for Valencia. As we've already seen in the 2 years that Mourinho's been here, he doesn't like to play Valencia weekend, then midweek, then weekend, then midweek. He always tries to give him game. He always tries to rest him. A lot of people are talking about the fact that he's played as a left-back, but actually the most important point of this is he's right-footed, he's a right-back, and we're selling Darmian. It's not rocket science. Valencia is our first choice right-back. Darmian has been backing him up. Darmian is being sold. Dalot will come in and be the backup to Valencia. And over the season, he may well, because this is Mourinho's signing, it's Mourinho's youth star, this is Mourinho's opportunity to show that he can buy a player and develop them. I can see that if this goes well, Dalot over the season will get more and more game time and Valencia will be gone by next summer or be a backup to Dalot. So that is what I see. And that is what has to happen. He can't be being used as a left back. What we don't want to see at United is loads of John O'Shea's. 1 or 2's fine, but we don't want to see people being played in different positions all the time. He's got to be. We want some specialists, and we need a specialist there for sure. Thanks everybody who's liked the video. He's had his 1,000 likes. He deserved it. I wanted to stay live for him to get that. This is just the beginning, says Ivan Costa. You know what? I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now. I think we're going to see a brilliant transfer window for Manchester United. As long as we can retain Martial, I think everything else we're going to do is going to be great. I think there's going to be a big signing. It's either going to be an attacker or Milinkovic-Savic. We will get another midfielder. I think we will get a left back. We'll probably get a centre back, and Blind, Darmian and Fellaini, and maybe one other will go. Maybe one of Jones and Smalling. It's going to be a big summer. It's not going to be like any other summer. We're going to be with you. It's your channel. It's your community. Thanks everybody who's been watching us. But I think this summer is going to be really exciting for Manchester United. And the reason it's not just, oh yeah, we're going to do this, that and the other. I think it's because there's a realisation in the board, in the manager, the fans and everybody that we were a long way off the title last season. And if we want to go for it next season, in what could be Mourinho's last if he doesn't win it, we've got to do wholesale changes. And it's now or never. We don't want to be looking back in the middle of next season going, we should have bought another 2 and got rid of a couple more. I think they're going to do it. I really do. I think they're going to do it. I'm not saying that we're going to win the league, but I think we're going to make some big changes this summer. And they're changes that have probably rolled on for the last 4 years in relation to getting rid of some of that deadwood players and obviously some proper investment in the squad. What do I think about the Verratti rumours, says Rupin? I don't think there's anything in it until I hear it from somewhere credible, to be honest. But what I think about the Verratti rumours is I think they might have been put out there to scare Lazio a little bit, because it's like Lazio think they've got us on Savic, and to a certain extent maybe they do. But if we go for Verratti, Lazio are suddenly, well, Juventus can't afford him. If United are out of the equation, where's the price war? It might just be Real Madrid. So let's see what happens. I still think we've got to get him. Back at 8 o'clock tonight. Christopher White says, have a fantastic day, Mark. I say back to you, Christopher, and everybody in the live comments. You have a fantastic afternoon as well. We'll be back live at 8 o'clock tonight with the 8 o'clock show. Thanks everyone for watching. Weird times that we're going live at the moment, so make sure you subscribe. You've got your notifications on in the bottom right-hand corner. But we've had 2 great days of going live and celebrating an official signing. And to be honest, apart from watching the games and United winning games, there's nothing quite like that positivity you get when it's a signing, as long as it's a good signing. I remember when we signed Fellaini. But Fellaini could be going next. It could be a hat trick. Tomorrow we might have Fellaini leaving, but really, really pleased about this signing. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you all at 8 o'clock. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, and if you're not new, absolutely brilliant community that we've got. Let's keep it going. Thank you very much. Speak to you all soon. I'm going to get back out in the garden now. Lineker!